The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach for the ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for short. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch a crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove to get down. So say the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. New York City, sing it with me. Stills the Great, Hardwell, J. Remy, Knicks Talk Nation, Monday, 10 to 11. We are back. Fellas, what's good? Remy, thank you for checking in, champ. We see you. Gotta unmute yourself, King.
Everything good on this side.
Huh?
Everything good on this side. What's good, y'all? What's good with y'all?
Man,
everything good?
Motion. Yes, sir, man. You know, the devil always working, man, but, you know, we don't let them win at all, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about, though. You know what I'm saying? I know that y'all happy. I know I'm happy like a mother. I'm telling you, man, I'm seeing what's going on out here in Knicks land. You know what I'm saying? The team is looking like a real team. You know what I'm saying? The coaching look a little bit better this year, or maybe it's the players, but we going to get to it, man. But before we get to it, man, fellas, how was y'all weekend, man?
My weekend was pretty good. I can't complain at all. You know, just working. My team had a great win yesterday.
Shout out to Hardwell for his team.
Team Hardwell, to cap off my Sunday. So that's about it, man.
No question. Remy, what about you?
Rem?
Man, everything was good. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. You know, last week was a long week for me, but weekend was good. I spent some quality time with my son, which is always a good thing. You know, had a nice quiet start to the week today. Got some projects done at work, and I'm happy to be back on here with y'all, man.
No question, man. Word, bro. The weekend for me was excellent, man. I can't lie. I had a great time. You know what I mean? Had a lot of my friends around, man. You know what I mean? A lot of friends came out to celebrate my birthday. You know, my birthday was on the 5th.
Happy belated birthday, my brother.
Appreciate that. Word up, man. Definitely. Appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? So we all got together, man. Got everybody to come out to a bowling alley, man. We had a good time bowling, drinking, eating, having a good old time, man. You know what I mean? So it turned out to be a good look, you know, for the weekend, man. I mean, I enjoyed the fight on Saturday, even though it wasn't much of a fight. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury beat the brakes off of Deontay Wilder.
Brakes off of him.
You know, I guess that was to be expected. You know what I mean? When a guy can really box and a guy can't box, man, it was clearly on display. You know what I mean? So, you know, but the weekend was great, man. And on top of that, watching the Knicks get busy on Saturday. Or was it? Hold on. Yeah, it was Saturday. It was Saturday. And then when they against the Wizards, and then the other game was I believe it was Thursday, or it was probably on my birthday, the Tuesday on my birthday. Watching them get busy, man, because they are 2-0 in the preseason right now. The first game they did win 125-104 against the Pacers. They was undermanned, so they say. A couple of their stars were sitting out, and then they beat the brakes off of the Washington Wizards, man, 117-109. But what are your thoughts after the team actually playing meaningful games now in the regular season, even though it's preseason? Because I know some of us was like, nah, don't get too hype off of the summer league, and you know what I mean, we got to wait and see and this, that, and the third. But what was your thoughts after these 2 games, man, that just passed?
Well, I think summer league wasn't the typical summer league that we always get, because I was saying that, you know, you seen not only Tibbs, but other teams is playing players that in those preseason games that normally wouldn't play. And I was like, wow, that's like teams are trying to prepare early to build chemistry as early as possible. I
That's a
think
fact.
because of the COVID situation and certain things that's going on, you know, the game is changing now. You got players like the Knicks. Tibbs barely played McBride and those guys the first game. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
thought that they would be getting a lot of more time than they did. But obviously, when you heard him talk about it, he was saying that it's based on building early chemistry now. So I understand what's going on. So that's what I got from it. I see the chemistry already growing, which is a good thing. You know,
Uh,
we hit a lot of threes in the second game.
24.
We had a lot of turnovers, but that's not all the way that bad because you got to make some mistakes to learn. And I think they got to learn each other's tendencies and everybody's places and hot spots where everybody like to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we got Kimber Walker now, so somebody could get the
Uh,
team in the right places. And you see how he just came down and hit the three, so you can't sag off of him, you know, because you're scared of him because he's a threat with the ball in his hand, just like Quickly. When Quickly shoot that deep out, right?
yeah.
When he hit one or two of them in the game, let's say, because people say they don't like him shooting there, and I'm saying like now you got to step out there to guard him. So him being that fast, he could go by you. So
Yeah.
these are things that we have on our team that's gonna make us a great team, and that's what I got from the games. That's just some of it. I'm
That's
gonna
a fact.
pass it around and let y'all tell the rest.
Remy, what you think?
So I agree with Harwell about the 3 point shooting. You know, they shot I think it was like 50 something threes they took. And yeah, like you said, they made 24 of them. So you know I was encouraged by that. You know, they took a lot of threes, but they made a lot. You know what I mean? So I was definitely encouraged by that. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about Obi playing at the four, but I think that was just because Randall didn't play. I think that was just like a fill-in spot.
Oh,
Um,
we gonna talk about that.
and then, you know, I like the way Derrick Rose look. You know, of course, you get nervous when you see him, you know, tighten up towards the end. I think he had a little ankle thing or a foot thing towards the end of the game. And he said in the post game that you know if it was a regular season he would have played through it, but right away you start thinking, oh man,
Derrick
uh,
Rose, right? Yeah.
yeah, Derrick Rose being Derrick Rose. But I was encouraged by the shot making. I wasn't too crazy about Obi at the four, but again, I think that was because Randall didn't play. Um,
You got to
and yeah, I was
remember.
still encouraged by it. They won both of the games.
What
I
does
think they
that
played.
mean? Obi can't play a lot of minutes, Remy? That's what you saying?
I didn't like him at the four.
You got to
I didn't
He's
remember.
he's a four though,
He's a
right?
four.
See,
He
I feel
can't
like
play the
Obi.
three.
I feel like Obi better at the three. I truly feel that way. I mean, he's a natural four, but I think with the size they have on its, I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about him at the. I'm not crazy. I didn't like the way he looked playing the forward, and I feel a lot better if they played him on that kind of like positionless basketball kind of rotation
Hmm.
that's in with the league right now. You know, positionless basketball is a big part of the NBA
But
right
his
now.
That's
but he
interesting.
not handling the ball enough to do that. I
Now,
don't think. He not
now,
it don't look. I'm just going by what I see though. And I don't want to judge him wrong because it wasn't enough time. You know what I mean, Rem? Like
mm,
he
Yeah,
only
you're right.
played, he didn't even play as much as I thought he would because they gave Knox a lot of minutes that I didn't expect.
A
So
lot of
what I'm
minutes.
saying is,
Yeah.
yeah. So what I'm saying is when I seen him dribble, that shows me that he can't play going in that position like 3 and 2. You know what I mean? He got to stay in the four. Or five. I don't even want to say five, so he kind of stuck in the four. Yeah,
mm.
still, what you was
And
gonna say? My bad.
shout out to Knicks 100, the GM. He said them backdoor cuts. I mean, that's good basketball, and he's feeling that, which is true. And Obi, you got to remember, Obi was drafted to play the power forward position. That's why they drafted him. He is a four.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, even though his frame is like a three, his game is really a four. Like the one thing that I did notice from the game, the ball movement was crisp. They were all playing unselfish basketball. Obi looked like he polished his game. He tightened up his handle. He was more confident. He was hitting the wide open threes. He was hitting the mid range jumper. So it looked like he put a lot of work in the gym. and you could tell off the back immediately the difference that having a guy like Kemba Walker or a point guard that's serviceable can do for this team. That one play when he came down on the fast break and just pulled up for three, like when's the last time you seen a Nick point guard do something like that other than Stephon Marbury? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that the addition of Fournier and Kemba is going to open up the floor for guys all around the team. Because look at what it did for RJ Barrett. He was hitting them corner threes like it was no tomorrow. He looked a lot more confident and a lot more efficient, man. And I was really impressed with what I saw, you know, especially the other night, man, when they beat Washington in Washington. And shout out to Mike Ray on the check, and we see you, brother. What's good?
What's good, family? How you?
Man, I can't call it, man. We just talking about the preseason recap, man.
Good, Mike,
Trying to share our thoughts on what we saw. You know what I mean? These past two preseason games where we're currently undefeated, man. What's your thoughts on what you saw, bro?
Oh man, I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was a beautiful look. I thought that you saw what it looks like when you have a point guard who you have to account for, right? So now the Knicks are no longer playing 2.5 to 3 against 5.
Facts.
Now it's a legitimate 5-on-5, right? So you saw that anybody can come down and pull up a 3. So what does that mean? That means that you can't double nobody.
That's
and to
a
be
fact.
fair with you, and if you saw the first game, the second game was interesting, but the first game, I thought it was towards the middle of the second half, maybe 5 to 7 minutes into the third.
Yeah.
Obi took somebody down on the low block.
Yes.
Put a post move with a spin to it.
Yes.
That I messed up my DVR because I didn't think I saw what I saw. Like, did I see that correctly? And that right there means that. See, the main thing about pro sports, especially basketball, is you want continuity.
Yes.
Right? So if that's what you're getting from the man coming off the bench, giving you 18 a night, what are you getting from your starter if he's on the bench? And because of that, they look extremely solid. You know, Tibbs, there is no preseason for Tibbs.
Nah.
Tibbs coach every game like it's, you know, like you win this game to make the playoffs, so you go home.
That's a fact.
And he got a team full of dudes that responds to that. It's going to be an interesting season.
Yeah, it's going to be a real interesting season, man. Oh, well, you look like you wanted to add on to that. What you going to say?
No, I agree. I agree. It just it's a competitive team, and they hungry for knowledge. When you listen to what he's saying about guys staying in the gym, and even Emmanuel quickly, a lot of shows we had before, and I think because of Summer League, people were judging it wrong, and I was trying to say that you can't judge Summer League over the work that he put in last season, and that's how Connor Tibbs looks at things. And you can tell how much trust he got in him now because he's letting him play the point, and now quickly even looks great at the point. So if you ask me, with Kemba in his knees, Rose and his older bones, right? It's good to let Quickly play some of those minutes. And then I think McBride will fit in there. And then that pretty much covers the point guard position. Whereas if that's enough depth and playing time to rest those guys and have those guys ready in case we want to make a playoff run.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as far as a playoff run for me, I don't expect us to win a chip this year. All I really expect us to do is improve. So within the next couple years, we can have championship talks because we can know what moves we got to make to get us out of the East. You know what I mean? If we fight a little further in the East, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's take a few steps in that direction to the second round, third round. You know what I mean? Shit, if we make it to the Eastern Conference Final right now, shit, then it's like, yo.
I mean, my biggest concern is really the 5 right now. I don't. Obviously, Taj Gibson isn't the answer. I'd like
he looking good, Remy.
He look good, Remy. What's up?
Remy, he look good.
Old Taj Gibson.
Yeah, but his smarts. Let me tell you.
Come on, hold on. Let's not be a prisoner of the moment. Hold on a second. Let's not be a prisoner of the moment.
I
Y'all
gotta
mean to
get
tell
Taj
me
on the platform. Let's
Hardwill
go.
just said it. Hardwill just said it. Second round Eastern Conference Finals is a success this season. Do y'all
Yes.
really think that the answer at the 5 is going to be Taj Gibson at the end of the season for us to make an Eastern Conference Finals run? Y'all really think that?
Hold on. We ain't even seen Nerlens Noel with this new group.
Because he's
Yeah.
hurt.
Okay.
As usual. As
And like Mitch is
usual.
hurt
No,
too.
he's not.
But
He's not.
he,
They
he
not.
could have played.
He got a sore
they just-
knee. So
they
that's
could
the story
play,
of his life.
But they
is a
just
sore
not gonna
knee.
risk them in preseason, which makes
it's-
sense because
The story of his life is a sore knee. That's the story of his life.
no. We're talking about Noel, right?
Yeah, Nerlens
Yeah,
Noel. The
Nerlens
story of his
Noel,
life
yeah.
is his knees.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't let him play in preseason, man.
That's
Yeah,
the
you
story
know
of his
what I
life is his knees.
But
And
what I was gonna say,
Mitchell ain't playing. Mitchell ain't playing 6 months. Plus he chunky. Somebody he got weight room weight. Nah, bro,
That's-
you big.
That's
You big,
what I'm
bro.
worried about. I'm
You
worried
big,
about
bro.
Mitch.
You know what I'm saying? So Taj Gibson is a
but
good
Jericho
role player.
Sims
Taj
look good
Gibson
to
is
me.
not the
There-
start.
There we go.
Jericho
That's
Sims
what I'm
look
saying.
real
Jericho
good to me.
Sims. That's what I'm saying. I want to see Jericho Sims flying around because
Yeah.
Taj Gibson is not the answer at the 5 on the Eastern Conference Finals team. I'm sorry, that's not
Jericho
the solution.
Hold on. Jericho Sims had about
Mitchell Robinson got too big for his size
uh-huh.
to be us really realistic thinking he could jump on the court and play an immediate role. Taj Gibson ain't the answer. Nerlens Noel's needs is the story of his life. Jericho Sims needs to.
Noel's did good
He
for
needs
us
to
last year, though, bro.
Exactly.
They paid
No,
Noel's. Noel did pretty good for us. He made some
But
big
he's
blocks
always
in big
hurt,
games.
Will.
Remember that Boston game? You remember that Boston
Oh.
game when that man stepped up and made them big blocks in that game? We
Will.
needed that game.
Will.
Remember that?
Nerlens
Yes.
Noel can play. He's always hurt though.
It's all right. Everybody's
He
gonna
is
get
the
hurt. Our backcourt combined, they not gonna play a whole
Yeah,
season.
we just broke that
They
down. I
gonna
just
sit
told
out.
you how Kimba and them they're gonna have to balance all their minutes and not play them into
Yeah.
the ground.
That's
That's the
why
same thing about the bigs. It's the
Exactly.
same exact thing.
That's
Yeah,
what
but-
I'm-
And let me tell you about Taj Gibson now. I'd rather have an OGC. This is why Tibbs like him and keep him playing too, because
Yes.
he gonna do the job. And sometime a dude may be faster than him, but when you play basketball, it's like you cut the right lines and you make the right decisions and cut the court off the right way, which Taj is very great at. Why you think he could shine against these players that everybody be saying is so elite? The other night when they seen Miles Turner go out there, dudes on the show was talking about Miles Turner. Man, I don't want to hear never bring up another Miles Turner
Mike,
again.
Don't bring up Miles
Sims.
Turner no more, Mike.
He's what? Hold on. He's what? Six. Taj Gibson.
Hey, yo, Stills.
That was stupid.
No, because
Don't bring that guy up no more. Shout out to
Sims
Sal
outplayed
Legacy.
him. Taj Gibson bust his ass. I mean, yo, bro. Taj Gibson was hitting that boy with the. He was turning his shoulders, drop stepping. I say, yo, this is vintage Taj. I said, wait till I talk to my man Mike Ray. Because he said, Miles Turner. But they did say Miles Turner is a great defender and he will get blocks. They was bigging him up in that game, but there was like the first half he did a little bit, then he disappeared.
No,
he
he don't
not,
fit.
He's still 36 and he's still what 6'8".
Yeah, he don't fit. He don't fit.
We don't need him. Jericho Sims is better than him right now.
Jericho Sims had 13 rebounds in about 18 minutes the other day. So that boy crashes the boards and he's young. And
y'all know how I feel about it. Y'all know how I was a Jericho Sims fan from his first
Microwave
game in
players.
the summer.
His first basket was a dunk the other day. Like, oh, get up. 2 hands.
You know what I like about him? He's
Jumping
coming
out
up doing a handoff play and he's not fumbling the ball at all. And you know how some young guys be looking all he's very so to me that's good enough to what we need because he's blocking shots, he's catching misses off the miss, dunking the ball back.
Yeah.
You know, if he could do that, hold us down till Mitch come back, we'll be fine. Between Mitch and Noel, that's a perfect and Taj and Sims.
Yeah.
Sims should make that final spot, I think, right? Because we got to let somebody,
And you said it earlier, Remy. You want to see positionless basketball, right? So you can switch Obi to the 5 as well on offense They'll help out on
Oh no, I don't
defense.
know about that.
I
I
mean,
don't
nah,
know
I'm
about
just
that.
saying, we talking about positionless
Can he
basketball,
guard a
right?
five though? Stills like
I
if we
mean,
if he,
it remains to be seen.
I
If he
mean,
had to,
who are
him
the
and Taj
worry
Gibson
who are
is
the
the same
worrisome
size.
but who are the worrisome
that's
fives
true.
in the East besides
Yeah, but you can't really compare
besides
Taj Gibson and Obi as
the six
defenders
with the
because
Sixers.
Taj know how to cut off that floor and guard them bigs.
But
That's
what
a
I'm saying
special
is,
skill from
Embiid,
experience.
Embiid.
yes,
Who's the five you got to
other
worry
than
about in the East
Embiid,
besides Embiid?
other than Embiid, nobody.
No,
Nobody.
I'm not talking about like as far. I'm talking about skill wise. You got to remember, Taj is doing what he doing from a lot of experience. Remember, you know, just like Jakeem Noah, them dudes know how to play defense. Jimmy
Yes,
Butler, they learned a lot of stuff playing. They defensive players, so it's
but
not all about his size.
but you
Nah,
Taj
also
Gibson.
have to remember,
I was agreeing with Stills because who we got to worry about Obi guarding in the
and,
East because you said who's he gonna guard?
and you
Who
got to
we got to
remember,
worry about him guarding besides Joel Embiid? Who we got to worry about Obi guarding in the East as a
Brooke
five?
Lopez is a
but you got to
five.
remember, defense is a team sport,
Um,
man. It's a team effort, man. So it's not going to be one man. Like, how many times we had a good lockdown defender? How many times we had Lance Thomas on the best player on somebody's team, and we still got cooked? Come on, it's like this is not back in the days. Defense is a team sport, man. Like everybody got to chip in, man. You as good as the weakest link on your defensive lineup, man. So it's a team thing. So I think that with the depth that they have, they can make it work, man. In today's NBA. Now, if Shaq was still around, then I'll say okay.
I mean, he need
Then we got to
experience, just like RJ. They saying he gonna guard the best players, right? Cool. He did
exactly.
decent recently, right?
So
But
let's talk
at the
about that.
same time, he got to get more experience at it. He got to keep doing it more and more so we
Mhm.
can see what he's gonna do, how he's gonna do. Some people may not even look at him as doing anything because that was a preseason game the other day.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
So can he do that in the regular season? Is he gonna guard those best players like the Bills and all them guys? Because we know no matter how much we Knicks fans get crazy, Bill and you can't take no Fournier, none of them players on that team and say they better than Bill.
Yo,
Putting
man.
the ball in the hoop. Bill could put the ball in the hoop very, very well. So if you could stop him, that's a good defender. You know what I mean? That's a two-way player,
I
like
mean,
a Jimmy
I
Butler.
don't think there's a stop. I don't think there's a stopping deal. Like I don't think
No, like I'm saying,
you
like a
can
Jimmy
contain
Butler,
him.
for instance, he could
Oh,
stop Bill. So
Okay.
if RJ could do that, he's going in the direction of being a two-way player. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I brought him up in reference to talking about Obi stills when I went from about Obi to RJ, because
Mhm.
Obi would have to get reps at those positions, guarding those players before we could just say he could do that. Because Taj Gibson been doing that for a very long time. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And now he's an OG, so he know how to do it even more because he's a veteran. You know what I mean?
copy. So just to ask y'all, like, who surprised y'all the most thus far in the two games that we've seen? We spoke about RJ. RJ looked solid. He was hitting the open jumper. You know, he was playing defense like Tibbs said. He wants him to guard the best defensive player on the opposite team because we no longer have what's his name, man? That's for playing for Washington right now.
Oh, I mean, we no longer have Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Reggie
he's
Bullock.
playing for the Mavericks right now. So Tibbs wanted RJ to definitely step up into that spot, man, and guard the opposite team best offensive player. So I think that he showed that. What are y'all thoughts on Obi though? Like a legit look at his game. What do y'all think about what he's worked on thus far? Like Mike said, that drop step the other day was very impressive.
I mean, I think he looked good. I think he looked real good. I think he had a couple turnovers. I don't
Yes, some
remember the
sloppy
exact number.
turnovers. It was
Yeah,
about
he
two
had.
or three.
Yeah, it might have been like 4 or 5. It
Mhm.
was a couple, but
Yeah,
regardless, he did have a couple of turnovers. He was in the teens. He only played 26, 27 minutes, something like that.
yeah, when he
But
stepped in for Randall.
but he looked good from the corner. I think he looked confident with the basketball. Again, last year was really his preseason. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
At the end of the day, I really feel like Obi could be the alpha on this team. I really feel like that. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a Knicks fan. I really feel like that in my heart. I feel like he could be the alpha on this team, and I think we could tap into that potential he got. But I think my surprise would not be. I don't really like saying it because I'm not a fan at all, and I want him to be gone. Kevin Knox played really well. Kevin Knox played
Oh
really well.
God, he
He
went 4
played
for 6
good.
from 3-point range the other day. He had 12 points.
He
Came
played
Yes,
in
good.
gunning.
He played,
Came
yes.
in gunning.
I like the fact that he was letting it go. Like
yeah,
it's the
I
fact that
want
he
him
let it
gone.
go.
I
Yeah,
feel like he like I hate I never liked that pick. I didn't like him as a player. I didn't like him on his fit on the Knicks, and still I'm
yeah,
just like, you know what I'm saying? But he
yeah.
played good. I was surprised. He was forced to play a lot more minutes because
Grabbed
So,
6 boards.
yeah, yes it
facts,
did. Yep, he had 6 boards. Yeah.
facts.
He surprised me.
And he definitely did well, man. I
He's
think he
6'9"
went.
with a handle. Six
Yeah,
eight, 6'8" with a handle.
yeah,
He
but
just in his he ain't got the confidence right now.
yeah. I think
Listen,
that.
Calipari told y'all it was going to take the kid at least 3 years.
He did say that.
That he came out too
Mm-hmm.
soon, but you ain't never going to disrespect a man for going to get the bag, right?
It's a fact.
And at that point, any bag is bigger than the bag you got. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So here he went to go get the bag, but Calipari told you he was going to need at least 3 years of seasoning.
That's a fact. He did. He did say that. But unfortunately, the Knicks wasn't waiting because you could tell the way that they drafted that they kind of drafting to kind of move on from him, man. And I think
Maybe
that
not.
we gonna see. We gonna
Because you
see.
know why, Stills? Look
What's
how
that?
Julius Randle came out of nowhere. I think now that happened,
Uh-huh.
they kind of keeping their eyes open for certain players to see if they're gonna have they come out years
Oh,
or they holding players. So if they're gonna make a move, they're gonna throw them players in those moves. But for Julius Randle to do that,
uh-huh.
that makes him, say maybe he's gonna come out and play. Maybe because they know what Calipari said as well.
Yeah,
That's not. I heard it once. Mike Ray said it. He's right.
he
And I'm
is.
sure they know that.
Yep.
So
Not only that, but they turned around and went and got Calipari's lead assistant coach in Kenny Payne.
That's a
he's
fact.
not going nowhere.
So if
Forgot
anybody
about that.
knows what Calipari was saying about the kid, it's the man you got sitting 2 chairs down on the bench.
That's a fact. And Kenny Payne could have took a
Yeah, I
job
forgot
in
about
college
that.
and chose to stay. He stayed with the Knicks.
Could have went to DePaul, right?
Yep.
Turned down DePaul. Yep.
Yep. Yep. He definitely did. What's your thoughts on quickly?
Solid.
Thus far.
Solid. Solid. Flat
Really
solid.
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 You know
I
what I'm
knew he was
saying?
gonna be
All you
like
see
that.
is continue like me and Will, you know what I'm saying? We saw it in Vegas. Like you saw what he was trying to do, right?
Uh,
He spent that time trying to develop his one guard skills.
yes.
But I think Will agree when we were watching him play, you knew that okay, this kid is working on it because if he decides to just go back to what he does best, he's
Yeah.
gonna score about 50. So
100%.
let me on purpose work on my point guard skills because only person that had a chance against Quick was Chris Duarte. But think
Yeah.
about that. Chris Duarte already a grown ass man.
That's a fact.
So you still talk about boys playing with men, and quickly was legitimately a man playing against all the rest of these boys. So I think to see him continue in the preseason, they saying that these dudes, the only thing they not doing is bringing sleeping bags to the gym. That's the only thing they not doing is bringing sleeping bags.
Yeah,
They're
they
coming
do.
back at night. They're
Yeah,
there early in the morning. Listen, if you a player that's there when Tibbs is there, and we know Tibbs don't do nothing but go home to pee and shower and come back.
that's a fact.
And that's what these dudes is doing. Not one dude,
Yeah,
not two dudes,
yeah.
all of these dudes. And then they went and drafted some kids that have the same gym rat philosophy. Like the team mascot need to be a sleeping bag because that's the only thing these dudes is missing. I say
Mhm.
all of that to say the thing I liked about Quick is
Uh,
that you seeing continued progression from the summer. He looked more confident in the summer league than he did during the season. He looked more confident in the season as the season went on. And now he's stepping on the floor like he belonged here.
that's a fact.
Obi looking like Obi from Dayton.
That's a
That's
fact.
Obi from Dayton.
That's a fact.
That's College Player of the Year.
That's a fact.
They're 10 deep. I wish somebody would find me a team that got a deeper bench.
Can't.
Nick's second five
Hmm.
could be a 25 win starting five, and that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that when I put my second five on the floor, yo, this is high school varsity versus Pop Warner. Like, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, that's
Uh,
why I'm selecting such a high win total.
yeah. Yeah. 50 plus is a must. They have to.
They not gonna be playing from behind like they were with Peyton and Bullock on the floor, where every time D Rose came in, they were 5 points down,
Yeah.
7 points down. Ain't gonna be like that.
So what are y'all thoughts on Kemba and Fournier as the additions to the lineup?
Well, I
I
want to
give it
say
an A.
something about quickly, real quick.
Uh-huh.
Quickly shows that you know he even knows that once the season starts, it's a whole nother gear you got to go into. And Tibbs is him and Tibbs got like they close. You could tell because he said something like he stay in the gym, like you were saying. He's like a gym rat for real, and you could just tell he love the game. He a student of the game, and that's another Kentucky kid. So all these kids and the coaches and the connection, like you gotta remember, summer league and some of the opportunities that was there. I think that's what messed Knox up, if you ask me, because he
Facts.
caught COVID. But I think the connection with Kentucky and all that's going on is going to give Knox a chance to maybe
Yeah.
shine. Just in case we move some players, maybe I don't know. We may move some players, and
We
and
gonna
and
talk about that.
maybe he'll be here still. You know what I'm saying? Because the main point is this: what I think, right?
Mhm.
If Julius could replace Randall, and you notice how we
Julius
stacked in
can
all
play
these.
man. Who?
Julius could replace Randall. I mean, my bad. I'm sorry. I meant
Yeah,
to
I'm
say
like, when he
Obi could
repeated it,
replace
I said, oh snap.
Obi. Obi could replace Randall.
Obi can replace Randall. Yes.
Yeah. So with our team being so deep, if they was to have a trade like that, we would still be in a great position. And I think that's why we got all these extra players. If not, we just mad deep in those positions to where as if somebody get injured, we still good. Either way, I think we good. But if we make a trade, it's just to go further down like an Eastern Conference run type
Yeah.
of a move, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I was just wanted to say mainly quickly is the main person that really I see a lot of growth in his game already. A little bit more than Obi to me.
Uh-huh.
And as far as Kemba and Fournier, you could tell they know how to play together. They already look for each other. Fournier
Ball
threw an
movement
alley
is
oop.
immaculate.
Yeah, Fournier threw an alley oop to Obi. And to
Yes.
see him do that, that's pretty good because people don't think he have that type of skill to
Nah,
play like an American, and he does.
he
They need to
said to
stop
play
the whole
like an
stigma.
American,
Nah, it's
boy.
true, bro. They be on that like because he ain't from here. Like he don't, he just play different, but he goes.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it real. And I think that's better for our team. What he brings is kind of a good fit for our team because
Yeah.
he's willing to make the pass.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I noticed. Like those two guys fit perfect. Like you could tell that they were the immediate upgrades from what we had last year with
Mhm.
with Bullock and what's his name, man? He's in Phoenix again, man. Everybody you wanted them back on the team this year, Hardwell. But yeah, it's
Oh,
definitely an immediate
who I
upgrade, man.
wanted back. Still.
It's the point guard, man. He's out of here now. He's in
Point
Phoenix
guard.
again, man. Yeah, I forgot his name, man. That's how fast I forgot about him. But
Peyton,
yeah,
Not
Peyton,
Peyton.
Alfred Payton. Yeah,
I
Alfred
didn't
Payton.
want Peyton back. Nah, no way. I didn't want to be mean to him, but I wanted his bags to been packed. I was the one saying take him out the
I
lineup,
know
and
the
they
star
saying
Derrick
I was
Rose.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but
take him out
but
the
you can
lineup.
tell that there was an immediate impact, man. The way Kemba was looking out there. If we could get a full season of Kemba looking like that, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. Kemba looked comfortable like he was playing on the court for Connecticut. You know what I'm saying?
But still, Rose backing him up. That's even
Yeah,
more crazy.
yeah.
You could never imagine that in a million years.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man.
That's
A beautiful
crazy.
thing. And they both veterans, man. So when one is off the floor, the other one is back on the floor. So we always got somebody that can
Mm,
control the tempo of the team when the other one sits down, man. So I'm
that's
really
fire.
impressed. And I'm impressed at how the team looked fluently, like on offense. Like Tibbs' offense didn't look that sharp last year. I'm sorry, the ball movement was
Nah.
immaculate. It looked like they was the Golden State Warriors or something. What I was looking at for real. And they
That,
nailed 24 threes the other day.
that ball movement was nuts. Dudes
Yeah,
was shooting 3-pointers that were open, that were like,
wide open.
yo,
Like,
this
no,
time
you shoot.
last
No,
year, I
you
wouldn't have
shoot.
been open like
No,
this.
you
For
shoot.
real.
No, you shoot.
Yeah, Derrick Rose had gave it right back to Obi
Oh, that was a
on the
bad good
wing.
pass.
Yeah, and he had an open three. He gave it up to Obi for an even more open three, and
Mm.
Obi drained it, man. So I love what I'm seeing, man. I can't wait, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to
Oh,
see.
it's here already.
No. I mean, for it to be regular season time because the Nets is looking real vulnerable right now, man. You know what I'm saying? They looking real
He
vulnerable
just
right now.
lost tonight
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
They a
And
Lost
whole
you
to
know,
mess.
Philly.
all
They a
that
whole
turmoil,
mess.
we missed out on that turmoil. That's for sure. Because
They a
imagine
whole mess.
if
And don't
Kyrie
get me
was here.
wrong.
Oh my
I
God.
love yo.
See, people wanted that.
I
People
Yeah,
wanted
love
that.
I
Kyrie
did.
Irving. I
Mhm.
love Kyrie Irving. I love Kyrie. He's special. He's so special.
Yeah, he's
But
special, man.
he's a special headache too. Like
Yeah,
I've never seen such a selfish, self-centered superstar in a long time. Like and we've
no,
seen a lot of them, but this is bad. Like this
yeah,
is I've never even when he does interviews, it's like he tries
yeah,
to revert back. Oh, I want to revert back to the team. It's about the team. It's about my teammates. It's about being a good teammate, a
yeah,
good person. Like, bro, the
yeah,
reason they asking you this questions is because you being a shitty teammate.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm
Even
glad we
even
ducked that headache. Because
for
could you
real.
imagine the
Yeah,
headlines in New York would have been crazy right now, for real. Well,
fact.
well, but Remy, man, touch on some of the rumors that you heard as recent as today, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, it was talked about last year, towards the end of last year. It was talked about during summer league, and it's heating up. And I saw two articles today about it. Um, Colin Sexton to the Knicks,
Oh,
and um, the proposed trade they have right now was I believe it was Emmanuel quickly. Uh, I don't want to be wrong on this. I'll find it in 1 second. But
yeah,
um, he's a 20 plus point per game scorer. He's a liability. He's a liability defensively. Um, but you know, I kind of feel like he's adding to a position that we already have a lot of depth in. You know what I'm saying? Um, between Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, Manuel Quickly now adding a lot of that point guard skill to his game. Um, but it was talked about last year. It was talked about during the summer league, and it's really heating up right now. So I don't know. They have until October 18th to get a deal done in Cleveland. I don't think it's gonna happen, and I don't think they're gonna let him be a restricted free agent either.
yeah. I
So
think we got a Colin Sexton on our team already. I think his last name is McBride. You know what I mean? Like I
well,
think that he got a Colin Sexton type of game. You know what I mean? He's a dog, man. At this point, Colin Sexton to the Knicks don't make any sense.
Or vice versa in
Yeah,
talent. Like,
yeah,
he's defensively as good as like Colin Sexton. That boy go, but McBride is a great defender. So
exactly.
they total opposite type players. Even though McBride can shoot and can
And
put
he
the
can
ball in
score.
the hoop, but
Yeah,
he can't score on the level of a Colin Sexton. But Colin Sexton can't guard the ball up and play defense like McBride can. So it's not like saying I would even trade for Colin Sexton in that situation if he don't fit perfectly or what I really need on my team. You know what I'm saying?
so
yeah,
I don't mean to cut you off, Howard, but before you
Mhm.
finish your point, the trade that's on the table right now, reported by David Richard of USA Today, is the Knicks get Colin Sexton, and the Cavaliers would get Emmanuel Quickly, Taj Gibson, and a 2023 first round pick protected top 10.
That makes no
Mm.
sense because now you got Derrick Rose, Colin Sexton, and Kemba Walker.
Kimber Walker,
Yeah, what are you gonna run Colin Sexton at the two?
maybe because he played it too in Cleveland. You know that, right? Because Darius Garland plays the point, and they
Yes, he
both
Yeah,
plays
start.
that's
him.
a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Does but then you still got Evan
That'd
Fournier.
be crazy if you see all three. Yo, that'd be crazy.
You
I
thought
don't
you
know.
like that move?
Now I didn't say I like it because it don't fit, but I'm saying it's just like you're gonna see Kimber Walker and Derrick Rose on the floor together sometime.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was just thinking if you was to have, yeah, that's too much guards, man.
That's too much. Too much, man.
I
I
would
think
rather quickly learn that position. You know why? Because quickly is taller. Quickly is a different type of player too than Sexton. Even though I don't know, I wouldn't give up Taj Gibson
and
with
Emmanuel quickly.
and Emmanuel quickly and a pick
That's
for
really not
Sexton.
bad though. That's really not a bad trade. You know what I mean? To get somebody that's young, ain't even in his prime. That's not a bad move. I mean, yeah, you moving on from quickly, but I guess him and quickly play the same position basically. Because
They the
quickly's not a
same.
point guard either.
I
They
mean,
the
the only
same
reason
type
I
of
don't like
player.
the idea is because of the depth we have right now. And
Yes.
yeah, Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker have injury problems.
Yeah.
Um, but I think you got to balance their minutes throughout the season
Yeah.
and manage their minutes properly, so you get a good mix of them both. I think if they're playing a manageable amount of minutes and you have two of them, I think you can kind of divide and conquer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a safety net, but I think that's a really expensive safety net.
Plus, we got McBride too, though. That'll mess up his growth as well. I thought we trying to find a few minutes for him in there
Yeah,
Ah,
too. Think
you
about
got to
that.
5 minutes for him in there. I mean, but
That's what
and
I'm
then again,
saying.
if you're the Knicks, can you pass up on a 20 something per game, 23-year-old scorer?
I don't
Yeah,
think that they
that's
could.
too much.
It is.
That's too much for us, man. We already got Fournier, Kimba, Rose. Where's his points going? Is this guy gonna want to only score 10
Listen,
points
the
a game? I
only
doubt it.
the only way you make that move is if I'm trade if Colin Sexton has an overnight growth spurt and we wake up tomorrow and he's 6'8".
Exactly.
Other
Because
than
then we
that,
can move him in and take the threes position.
other
Facts.
than that, another undersized small guard don't work.
We got that already.
That's a fact.
Got a couple of them.
Yep.
That is a
Don't
fact.
it don't work.
I
That's a
don't think
fact.
we're gonna do it.
Yeah, it don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to bring a guy like that in when we still got Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker. And then that trade doesn't make sense because Taj Gibson is a Tibbs type of guy. I don't think that Tibbs would give away a guy.
Nah, he want him to retire in New York.
Yeah, exactly. And then the depth that he brings, man, and the toughness that he brings, you can't just trade that away. Not with this team because we already thin on the front line. So I don't think that trade would make
That's a
much
lot of
sense.
money too. Think
Yeah,
about it. We ain't paying quickly yet. And
nah,
even we got Kimber for us still. And Kimber ain't that far off from Sexton, even though Sexton is young.
yeah,
Granted, Kimber Walker, if he's in great health, man, you don't know what you're gonna get. So if
yeah,
you manage his minutes right by playing the younger guys somewhat, maybe I was hoping
yeah,
because we got young, talented guys. Look how Grimes came in and hit threes.
yes,
Look how McBride is guarding up. He's gonna guard up whoever is out there. It don't matter who was out there when he came out there. Let him
exactly,
do it and see what he's gonna do to them guys,
exactly,
so we can see what he's dealing with.
exactly. So who on this team right now has the most to prove this season that's going to actually play?
Burks. Let's not forget about him.
Like Burks. Why? Why Burks?
You say you say who's gonna be most improved?
No. Who has the most to prove?
Oh, who has the most to prove? I can
Yeah,
still say Burks because
Burks.
it's these type of year where Julius will have the most to prove, honestly, because he got to try to duplicate that season. You know, I was just more thinking of a player who would be like, you've been in the league all this time. It's time for you to be consistently doing work. And Burks is one of these dudes that I say, like, come on, you got to average, he does make a lot of his buckets. He plays great D. You got to give him props. He's gonna get minutes on our team, and we be naming all these other guys, right?
That's what I'm
But then
saying.
we forget about Burke.
Yeah,
But Julius got the most to prove, if you ask me.
he is.
First All-Star, first everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? He has to duplicate that type of season, bro. Like, if he don't, everybody's saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, for real.
But go ahead, Mike. I know you want to get at that one.
I'm gonna be the ultimate contrarian. The person that got the most to prove is Tibbs.
I was going.
And here's why.
Let's go.
Why. Right.
Let's go.
You got Leon Rose, Worldwide West,
Yes.
Scott Perry, Walt Perrin. These dudes done went out, done grocery shopped, and with what was available, right? Okay, so they couldn't go to Whole Foods, so they didn't go to Whole Foods, but they did the next best thing over there.
We lost Mike.
Yeah, said Whole Foods.
Yeah, Whole Foods.
I feel like he's about to drop some fire too.
Word. Mike, when you get back, you gotta finish chiming in.
Talking about Whole Foods. That's
Whole Foods like this. Hold on, Mark, they over there talking reckless about us. Word. But I agree though. Tibbs do have a lot to prove because now I don't think he's ever had a team this deep with this much talent. Even in his years in Chicago with Rose, Noah, and Charles Gibson and Jimmy Butler. I don't think they was this deep. What y'all think?
I don't know about that. I feel like
because Rose was
Jimmy
was
Butler,
MVP.
Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah. That squad was deep. Even their
starting five was, but their bench.
But there's some players that we leaving out that was on that bench as well. That was all right players too. We would have to look at that roster.
They had a deep roster. I can't think off the top of my head.
And Rose was MVP.
He was.
You gotta think about that.
Yes.
Julius didn't play no MVP season.
Yes, he did.
Nah.
Last year he won most improved player. And
that's
he was
what he did, and that's all he deserved. Stills.
He was not the same award. Mike, you back?
Y'all hear me?
Yes, we hear you now. Finish your point. We heard the Whole Foods part.
Yeah, we lost you. Carlos Boozer, DJ Augustine.
Carlos Boozer,
Mike Dunleavy Jr. They had a squad.
That's more.
Luol Deng.
All right, Luol Deng. Yes. Okay. All right.
Carlos Boozer?
Yeah, Boozer was washed at that time.
Come on, Stills.
Yeah, that was not Boozer in Utah Boozer.
Facts. That was he done passed through Cleveland. He done did a couple pit stops. That wasn't the same Boozer. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Mike. Finish your point with Tibbs, man.
We lost you at Whole Foods.
At Whole Foods, sure.
Listen. Shopping at Whole Foods would have been. They ended the season with a perennial all-star. So they didn't get that type of player.
Yeah.
They went to Stop and Shop. They went to shop right in a non-urban neighborhood where the selections are better. Right? They came back they brought back players to maintain continuity.
Yes.
And sprinkled in new players who could be immediate contributors at something that we were greatly devoid of. They didn't just replace a dude to replace a dude. They replaced the dude with a dude who was exponentially better in the deficient areas.
That's a fact.
So now you can't double team anybody. Now, and to be fair, in my opinion, at the fourth spot, mano y mano, ain't too many dudes in the league stronger than Julius.
Nope, not at all.
So Julius is going to mouse in the house a few dudes. I know this is a family show. I was about to slip up for a minute, right? So you figure if you take that into consideration, you brought back two second-year players who got significant exposure, dudes who finally got a preseason, who finally got a summer run, who finally got a full camp, who got time with trainers. You
You added that. You plug some holes. Yeah, you lose on the defensive end, but you also got to think the 12 points that you got, or the 18 total points from two guys you get from Kimba alone.
That's a fact.
Fournier gives you 12. If you lose 6, if you give up 6 more points than you did last year, but yet you done added 22 more points than you did last year,
Yeah.
you still stand to be middle of the pack defensively, but you're
Yeah.
not going to be 31st in the league in offense. So
Not at
with all that to work with, yo, Tibbs, we done put bags of quality groceries on the counter. The
Yep.
person with the most to prove is you thinking you Bobby Flay. What you gonna do with what we gave you?
That's a fact.
Right? Because everybody overachieved last year. So in reality, if they went back to the back of their cards, then they wouldn't be no exponential loss. You went back to what you were. Julius
100%.
has improved every year that he's been in the league. He's a walking 2010. So if he goes back to 20 and 10 from 24 and 11, then I mean, but you added this much offense. The key here is, how is Tibbs going to make all these ingredients work? Is he going to put school lunch out here, or is he going to put 5-star restaurant food on the table?
But let's keep it real though.
Let's go.
You said it, that they added what fit. They didn't add anything to mess up the chemistry that what we already had. But you said that, and that's so true, because they didn't. And that's what I always say most of the times when we go on air about that, staying in our chemistry and adding pieces that could only help us, and not like, hold down players from growing, hold back players from growing. I meant to say, like, even Derrick Rose mentioned it when the media was asking him about, like, is he going to slow down quickly, or these other players' growth? And he was like, no, he want them to shoot. Don't be looking to just give me the ball, play your game. So basically, that's a good sign with our team. And another thing I want to mention, as far as like the dudes who was making decisions, Worldwide West, Leon Rose, these dudes must have been hustlers back in the day, man. Because the way they flipping this money and getting getting players for the low and spending the money back with on this person, and flipping this bird, taking this money and putting it over there and clearing this up. Yo, these dudes was hustlers, man.
Yo, that's the beauty of having real basketball guys in the fold.
But they was hustlers too, Stills.
Leon Rose was an agent. He dealt with some of the top players. He dealt with the top players in the league at one point in time. The Worldwide West, you heard
Jay. Flipped that salary and got him for $8 million, and flipped that package and said, "Hold on, we could get that money to Fournier and flip that over there." And since Julius Randle took this short, we gonna give him that $6 million. Yo, someone's out here flipping work.
You heard what Jay-Z said, man. Shout out to Worldwide West. Everywhere you go, you make a worldwide mess.
Yo, yeah, he was a hustler. Shout out to Worldwide West, man.
And then he's the guy that was he was Rich Paul before Rich Paul, man. He was at all of these camps, watching all these kids when they got out of high school. He had relationships with all of these players from when they was babies, man. And now they grown men and they respect them. So the Knicks put some real basketball guys in the front office that was actually at games, not sleeping in the crowd while they're watching a prospect like Phil Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta remember too that this might be the next wave, because they did it with Rob Pelinka and with the Lakers.
Yes.
They did it with Leon Rose with the Knicks. And
yes.
you brought up Rich Paul. Don't be surprised if Rich Paul's not running a
That's
franchise.
his angle, man. He's definitely going. And then LeBron is his man.
LeBron will own the team. Well, they'll own the team together or whatever. And Rich Paul's running that team. Because I'm telling you, that's the next wave. They're gonna start. They're gonna keep pulling from the pool of high rank agents and making them GMs. That's the next wave.
So we got about 4 minutes left now. I know that y'all been monitoring the situation that's going on over there in Portland, right? So y'all heard Chauncey Billups pretty much come out and say he's not convincing Dame Lillard to stay anywhere. He said he went through this already. He's not convincing anybody to stay there for their family, for the betterment of the team. He said ultimately the guy's got to do what he has to do for himself and for his family. So what does that mean for Dame Lillard hearing his coach come in and basically say, I don't care if he stays or leaves. I'm here to coach basketball. What y'all think is going to end up happening with that situation? And we got 3 minutes.
He might leave behind that. Because I thought that Chauncey would help him stay.
Nah,
That's
Chauncey's
what I thought at first.
Nah, he said he's not doing it. He went through that already. You know who he
Trade him
talking
for
about.
Ben
He went through that with
Simmons.
Melo. Huh?
Trade him for Ben Simmons then.
That's what I see the likely trade being too.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons gonna make the Philly.
Yeah, but
they still gonna trade him.
Yeah, they're gonna trade him.
They're gonna trade him still.
Damn,
he just had to go, don't lose his money.
So Dame in Philly, I would hate to see that.
Nah, but I don't think Dame is gonna base his decision on how bad Chauncey Billups wants him to stay. I don't think that's gonna happen.
But
yeah, it is, because I heard Lillard say it on the press conference about like talking about like if they don't make a decision or if they start off slow, like they asked him, he might want out. He said,
"Wow."
All right, so let me ask y'all this.
Go ahead, Mike.
Lillard for Kyrie, straight up. Do you do it?
Oh, they're gonna do that.
Hell yeah, in a heartbeat they'll do that.
Brooklyn to do that in a heartbeat.
I would hate that, man. I would hate that. I only want to bring that into fruition, Mike. Why you do that?
KD gonna have to be mad. KD gonna have to be mad because they should do that shit in a heartbeat.
Nah, the way Stephen A is talking, man, he's saying that KD is about this close to going to management. Like, look, man, I got to do something. Like, he was trying to be nice, man. But if you got to think about it, he came here because of him. You know what I mean? He could have came to New York if that was the case.
But here's the thing. Once you added Harden, you took away the need factor. So he don't need him here.
And Harden didn't sign, and Harden isn't quick to sign his extension. He's saying that he might want to test the free agency waters.
I mean, Kevin Durant gonna be left there by himself. Watch.
I got news for you. Knicks keep winning. Harden don't sign his extension. Harden gonna be looking to come across the bridge.
Facts.
Would the Knicks and would the Nets make a trade like that with the Knicks? I don't think that would happen. I don't think that.
No.
Harden's a free agent.
He can leave.
Yeah, he's got to play. No. I thought what Mike Ray was saying is if he doesn't sign his extension, they're gonna be, because they would probably deal him because he got a player option. So if he don't sign an extension, they'd be stupid to not deal him.
Yeah. Well, it remains to be seen. It's gonna be interesting, man. But I can't lie, man. The way that this team looks right now, I don't even think they need to tamper with it, man. We kind of need to see where we are, man. Probably by trade deadline, man, we see what's going on. But I'm excited, man. I'm definitely excited about the season. I can't wait, man. So, fellas, we came to the end of another show. You know what I mean? Salute to Hard Will. Salute to Jay Remy. Salute to my brother Mike Ray. You know what I mean? Every Monday, 10 to 11, Knicks Talk Nation Radio featuring myself and the guys. You know what I mean? Next week we're gonna be talking some more. Hopefully, we might end up being undefeated this preseason. I think we could do that, man. You know what I'm saying? What say you? But on that note, Stills the Great, Hard Will, Jay Remy, Mike Ray, Knicks Talk Nation Radio. Catch you next week, same time, same channel. Peace.
New York City, we back. The Big Apple, NY. The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach with a ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for sure. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch a crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove you get down. So say the joke for the clowns, and NYC we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York. New York City, where it's gritty. NYC. For my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me.